I'm gonna try an experiment. So I'm currently motor sailing. I'm off the wind a little bit, but I'm kind of headed upwind. And I've got just a little bit of motor, about 80 watts. This tells me that I've got over 10 hours of runtime on the battery. And I'm moving at about 2.7 to 3.3 knots, somewhere in that range. Let's call it 3. So I'm running at about 3 knots. And I'm heading straight for the bridge. The bridge, I forgot the name of the bridge, but the bridge that goes into Apalachicola. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the motor. Okay, it's now at 0. And let's see how bad this sailing is. Okay, so motor is not running. I'm now down to about 2 knots. If I point slightly away and go on a beam reach, I'm at 3 knots. Give or take. 2.5. Okay, let's point back toward our target. And let's go on, let's get close hauled. And we're moving at about 1.5 knots. Let me adjust the sail trim a little bit and see if it helps. Oh, the wind is picking up right now. The wind's picking up good. It feels good. We're moving at about a little over 2 knots. Alright, let's kick up the motor again. Let's get right back up to kind of to where we were. I can definitely feel the pickup. Let's try to get right back at 70 to 80 watts. And we're moving at 3 knots again. Yeah, so it makes a difference for sure. I mean, quite a big difference. And it's nice that it doesn't consume a lot of battery. So this makes me wonder, for the Florida 120, which I'm contemplating, I'd like to participate in the Florida 120. But since this is a new boat, this is a completely new setup to me, I wasn't sure how practical it was going to be. from my previous video, I'm not sure if I published it or not, but there were portions where when I was trying to get upwind on this bay, it was excruciating. It was really, really bad. It took forever, and it was not very comfortable. But I wasn't using the motor. I was only using sail power. So I wonder if, let's say I participate in the Florida 120. Excuse me, I'm just gonna get this seat switched around so I can be more comfortable. If I participate in the Florida 120 and I'm stuck going upwind and sailing is miserable, it looks like an option is to use the electric motor, give it just a bit. Well, of course, it would depend on the current and the conditions and everything and the waves. These waves aren't as bad as the ones I was in the other day. And also, I may have mentioned this before, but it's almost impossible to capture the waves on video. You're not seeing what I'm seeing and what I'm experiencing. It's wavy. I'm bouncing quite a bit. Sorry, I had to find my position here, get my bearings. Anyway, I was saying, depending on conditions, it looks like I might be able to handle situations like that where there's let's say there's little to no wind. That's one situation. Another situation would be I'm having to go upwind and beat against the waves, a little bit like I am now, but let's say it's even worse. I think I could leverage the electric motor just to give it just enough juice to pick me up, like by, let's say, a knot. That would allow me, I think, to preserve battery power and take me long distances. So again, just for reference, I am pointing, the wind's coming out of the southwest, supposedly, west-southwest, and I am trying to get northwest. So I've got the wind kind of coming at me from this direction, just off the bow a little bit. Well, about maybe 40 degrees or so, 45 degrees. I'm running at about 80 watts, and the battery's saying it has over 10 hours left. The way the ePropulsion works is, if you have more than 10 hours, it doesn't tell you that. It only goes up to 9:59, which is kind of silly. So I've got well over 10 hours, it looks like, running this much power. And I have to wonder if, it seems as if this is going to be sufficient to do the 120 and to go upwind the way I am right now. Additionally, I have one battery right now, but I bought two. I have two specifically for doing rallies. So let's say I have this battery and I have over 10 hours. And then when I stop for the night at after the first leg, the first campsite, I can swap out my batteries and charge the first one while I'm using the second one and alternate them. And the way I would charge them is with solar. So I've got a 100 watt solar panel and a charge controller specifically for the ePropulsion batteries. So I would spend the next day charging the previous day's batteries. It is a little past 3:30 in the afternoon. On January 7th. in winter time. So I'm heeled over. This part of the boat is shaded, but that part's in sunlight. And I could lay a solar panel out there and charge it that way. Another thing I could do with the solar panel is it's a folding solar panel that I've got, the ones that came with the Jackery, or the accessories to the Jackery. I wonder if I could fold it up and over the gunnel. And this combing rail right here, if I could fold it over kind of in an inverted V and just have one half of the panel charging. That might be a configuration that could work. So down here, I don't know if you can see this on the camera, but I've got my throttle. This is my, what they call a top controller for the electric motor. And so I can see I've got 85%, here's my battery. Got 85% battery, over 10 hours of run time.
Keep it in neutral here. We got a little high spot we're gonna go over.
I don't mount the battery on the motor because if I do, I'm not able to tilt the motor up. There's not enough room because the motor mount is too close to the boat. So I needed to be able to run the battery separately from the motor. I used an extension cable to connect it to the motor. And this kind of is convenient actually, because if I wanted to swap out the batteries in cockpit, I can do that without having to lean over the back of the boat. So currently it says 84%, and we have over 10 hours of run time at the current throttle, which is a little bit around 70 watts. I'm going to actually increase this slightly to about 100 and... Let's see, 100 and...
You want to put it in and out of gear to make sure you got gear stuff.
I'm at about 150 watts now, and my runtime is around 7 hours. Let's see how this adjusts our situation here.
Looks like I got propulsion.
Okay, we're currently at about 3.5 knots.
You can go ahead and drop that line as soon as I loosen it on my bit.